want to get paid. It's no. I mean, the Ryder Cup itself makes so much money. Why can't we allocate it to various charities? And what's wrong with each player, 12 players, getting $1 million?
The 2025 Ryder Cup wasn't just another golf tournament. It became a spectacle no one saw coming, where passion turned to chaos and legends stood silent in disbelief. What happens when a sport built on grace suddenly feels like a battlefield? Amid the uproar, one voice stood apart: Tiger Woods. Not with roars or headlines, but with a quiet presence that left the world wondering, what does the greatest golfer truly think about the Ryder Cup's fading grace? His silence says more about golf's soul than any victory ever could. The Ryder Cup's explosive fallout. The 2025 Ryder Cup quickly became less about golf and more about chaos that shocked even the most devoted fans. At Bethpage Black, where tradition calls for sportsmanship and respect, the atmosphere turned wild and unpredictable. Cheers morphed into jeers, and moments of celebration were undercut by tension and anger. Cups were thrown, tempers flared, and the crowd's energy shifted from passion to hostility, creating scenes more suited to a battleground than a golf course. This explosive fallout left everyone wondering if the Ryder Cup had crossed a line it might never recover from. The event's usual spirit of friendly rivalry was replaced by bitter conflict, where insults cut deeper than the swings themselves. Legendary figures, who once embodied the pride of the Ryder Cup, could only watch in disbelief as the competition devolved into something raw and unsettling.
He would take that. I think, if I'm Tiger, I want to be the captain at home. I wouldn't want to go captain over there. I mean, not my first. I wanted to captain at home, and I'm glad I did.
Tom Watson's public shame and Gary Player's harsh condemnation underlined the gravity of the situation. The turmoil wasn't about missed shots or lost points. It was about the very identity of golf and whether it could survive such a spectacle. The world was left asking if golf's renowned class and calm had been consumed by its own obsession with noise and drama. Yet, amid the uproar and rising questions, one voice remained notably absent. A voice that had once defined an era in golf and carried immense weight within the sport. Tiger Woods, who should have been front and center, instead chose silence. His absence during the chaos only deepened the intrigue. What was he thinking while the sport he shaped seemed to unravel? The full meaning of his silence and what it revealed about the state of golf would only become clear later, but the tension felt like a quiet storm gathering on the horizon. There was something in Tiger's silence that held more weight than any outburst. It hinted at truths waiting to surface once the noise settled. Tiger Woods' quiet withdrawal. Tiger Woods' decision not to take the United States captaincy for the 2025 Ryder Cup surprised many, especially given his iconic status within the sport. Official explanations pointed to his ongoing physical recovery and a packed schedule filled with TGL commitments as the reasons behind his withdrawal. From the outside, it seemed a practical choice driven by personal constraints rather than any wider statement. But those close to the game, along with the watchful fans, sensed something deeper beneath the surface of this quiet retreat. This wasn't the first time Tiger had complicated feelings about the Ryder Cup.
Yo!
We're going to talk your 2000 season. It was a good one.
It's a long time ago.
25 years.
Footage from 1999 resurfaced, showing a young Tiger calling the tournament an exhibition. Comments that once seemed brash and dismissive. With hindsight, however, those words carry a different weight. A premonition about what happens when ego and spectacle overshadow respect in golf. His silence during the 2025 chaos wasn't avoidance, but a powerful form of control. He was holding back, not because he didn't care, but because he understood when words need patience to carry their true meaning. Fans filled the silence with speculation. Was Tiger disillusioned, frustrated, or protecting his legacy? Yet those who truly know him recognized calm precision in his restraint. Rather than hiding, he was waiting for the opportune moment to speak, for the sports storm to subside enough for his message to resonate. This silence became the loudest noise in golf, sparking more questions than answers, and setting the stage for a response that would cut through the chaos with clarity. When Tiger finally chose to break his silence, it was clear it was on his own terms and with purpose. The rift between tradition and spectacle. Golf has always been a game that prizes tradition, respect for the course, the opponent, and the unwritten rules of conduct. But over time, tension grew between that sacred code and an increasing appetite for spectacle and entertainment. The 2025 Ryder Cup revealed how far that clash had gone, exposing a fracture between the sport's heritage and the demands of a new, more raucous generation of fans and players. Tiger's earlier criticisms about the event reflect this uneasy divide, warning about the dangers when ego and noise begin to drown out respect. That tension was never just about on-course behavior. It was about the fundamental values shaping golf's future. Players pushed boundaries, crowds grew louder and rowdier, and what was once a dignified contest began feeling like a theatrical performance for spectacle's sake. The result was a sport wrestling with its own identity, caught between upholding respect and chasing thrills. Tiger's prescient words, uttered decades ago and echoed in 2025, suggested he had seen this coming. The Ryder Cup chaos was a symptom of something larger, a warning rather than just an isolated incident. For many, this rift explains why the 2025 Ryder Cup felt so unsettling. It wasn't just the uproar itself, but what it revealed. A game on the brink of losing its soul. Yet within that crisis also lay a call to action, one that Tiger would step into so calmly and purposefully. From this fracture, a deeper conversation about golf's soul was beginning to emerge, ready to be shaped by those willing to listen. The impact of Tiger's first response.
I was always going to be consistent.
Yeah.
And I was always going to fight. And so, in this game, we're not being physically, dominating over another person per se. But I think that if you could be so consistent that you can wear out somebody over.
When Tiger Woods finally broke his silence after the chaos at Bethpage, his words didn't just ripple, they struck deep and true. He didn't choose a grand stage or flashbulbs to deliver his message. Instead, he spoke quietly and deliberately, cutting through the noise with clarity. Tiger reminded everyone that golf has always been about respect. Respect for the course, for your opponent, and for yourself. There was no blame, no anger, just a call for honesty and ownership from players, fans, and officials alike. Tiger acknowledged the wild behavior and disappointment that clouded the Ryder Cup, but rather than scold, he held up a mirror to the entire golf community. He emphasized that the passion driving the sport wasn't the problem. It was the loss of control and impulse that had hijacked the game's dignity. His words carried urgency and gravity as he urged everyone to reclaim golf's soul by restoring calm and composure. The quiet strength of his message felt like a steady hand reaching out in a storm, inviting golf back to its roots. One of the most powerful moments was Tiger's quiet praise for Luke Donald, whose calm leadership stood in sharp contrast to the chaos. Without naming names or stirring controversy, Tiger laid down a clear creed. Greatness doesn't scream, it breathes. His warning hit like thunder. If golf kept trading grace for spectacle, it wouldn't just lose trophies, it would lose its soul. The ripple from Tiger's words quickly spread, touching voices far beyond his own sphere, the ripple effect. among legends. Tiger Woods' calm response did more than ease tensions. It inspired reflection among golf's icons. Tom Watson, once burdened by Ryder Cup regret, called Tiger's words a breath of truth. For him, it bridged shame and renewal, showing that while crowds may not change overnight, leaders can. His humility signaled the old guard's readiness to rebuild, not condemn. Gary Player, a harsh critic of the 2025 event, softened after hearing Tiger, admitting his anger came from love for a game once defined by composure. Jack Nicklaus echoed the call, praising Tiger's leadership and pushing for reforms, stronger referee authority, clearer conduct codes, and shared accountability. Together, these legends turned frustration into purpose. The Protect the Game movement united veterans and newcomers in restoring golf's integrity. What began as outrage became reform. Tiger hadn't just spoken. He'd awakened the sport's conscience, reminding all that golf's true power lies not in dominance, but in quiet respect and enduring character. The quiet revolution the Tiger inspired promised a path forward, one grounded in dignity and shared responsibility. A new way forward for golf. After Tiger Woods' moving words, a quiet revolution swept through golf. The turmoil at Bethpage had revealed deep divides, but Tiger's message, anchored in humility, dignity, and shared responsibility, sparked renewal. The focus shifted from blame to unity as players, fans, and officials sought to protect golf's true spirit. This wasn't about punishment, it was about restoring pride and respect. Change came swiftly. Locker rooms grew lighter, practice ranges calmer, and commentary more thoughtful. Young players began treating Tiger's message as a code of conduct, while tournaments strengthened crowd control to balance excitement and order. The phrase "protect the game" became a mission that united generations. By late 2025, the transformation was undeniable. Sponsors promoted calm and integrity, and fans embraced passion rooted in respect. Tiger Woods, once golf's fiercest competitor, had become its quiet guardian, leading not through dominance, but through grace. His legacy now transcended records, reminding all that golf's greatest strength lies not in power, but in character. The 2025 Ryder Cup was more than a tournament. It was a wake-up call for golf, and Tiger Woods became its guiding light. His calm yet powerful message helped a fractured sport find its soul again. If this story inspired you, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of golf. Share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you.